performance. Haribo.
Srila Rupa Goswami says in the Nectar of Instruction, the holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathura Puri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan, because of Krishna's Rasalila pastimes. And superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, for it was raised by the divine hand of Lord Krishna and was the site of his various loving pastimes. Sri Govardhan has a dual identity. On one hand, it is non-different than Krishna himself, because Krishna manifested himself as Govardhan, and on the other hand, he is also the topmost devotee of Krishna, as described by the gopis themselves. Many of our exalted acharyas, like Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, Srila Maheshwara Puri, and others chose the holy foothills of Govardhan to enhance their spiritual ecstasies in the divine remembrance of Sri Radha and Sri Krishna. So for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and all the assembled Vaishnavas, now present on this most celebrated day of Lord Krishna's pastimes of how Krishna came to be known as Govardhan Dari, we now take you back 5,000 years to the holy Dham of Braj, where the devout Brajvasis have gathered to perform their traditional Indra Puja.
I see that all of you are preparing for some great sacrifice. Tell me, Baba, what are all these arrangements for?
Kanda! We're making arrangements to perform a traditional sacrifice.
Oh, a big sacrifice. For whose satisfaction is it being performed?
We wish to please King Indra.
And what will be the result to please King Indra?
The rain clouds are his representatives. By arranging to pacify him, he will kindly send us rain clouds to pour down sufficient quantity of rain.
Is this ceremony according to Vedic injunction or simply a popular ceremony? Tell me all details, Baba. Do not keep any secrets from me.
Water is very important, because without rainfall, you cannot have any farm nor any grains. We cannot even live if there is no rainfall. Water is necessary for the performance of successful religious ceremonies, economic development, and finally, to gain liberation. Hence, this is a popular ceremony and we must do this ceremony.
After hearing this from his father, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the presence of his father, the sages, and the coward men of Vrindavan, deliberately spoke the Karma Mimamsa philosophy in a way to make the heavenly king Indra very angry.
My dear father, I don't think you need to worship any demigod for getting rains to help in farming activities. If one performs its karma nicely, the result is sure to come. Even if there is a god or a demigod, there is no need to worship him, because unless man performs his karma, he cannot bestow good result. Ultimately, and not the god or demigod is most important. So, in my opinion, there is no need to worship Indra at all.
Well, then definitely King Indra will be very angry with us.
Even if he becomes angry, what will he do? If he is so heartless, what kind of God is he? God must be kind and always willing to forgive the mistakes of his devotees. So this Indra does not appear God to me. If we worship him only, then he supplies rain, and if don't, then he withdraws the clouds. These are the traits of one who is businessman and not of God. So if you would listen to me, then worship that God who is equally disposed and showers his rain of mercy on everyone alike.
That is all right. However, if Indra is infuriated, then with a single blow of his powerful thunderbolt, we will all perish instantly.
Your fear is unreasonable. Don't you know that birth and death are predestined? Indra, however powerful he may be, cannot kill a person before his destined time.
Dear Krishna, I am in agreement with whatever you have just said, but without the satisfaction and blessings of the predominating God, one cannot derive any good results simply by performing one's prescribed karma.
Oh, learned Brahmana, in that case, the proper prescribed duty of the Brahmanas is the study of the Vedas. That of the Kshatriyas is to protect the citizens. That of the Vaishyas is agriculture, trade, and cow protection, and that of the Sudras is service to the higher classes. And since we belong to the Vaishya community, men are engaged in cow protection. Our mother cow is our worshipable deity, and cows live on fresh grass and water, which is so mercifully being provided by the Govardhan Hill. I therefore request you, O my dear father, let us begin a sacrifice which will satisfy the local Brahmanas, cows and Govardhan Hill. Man, let us have nothing to do with Indra.
Krishna, you are very intelligent.
My dear boy, since you are asking, I shall arrange a separate sacrifice for Govardhan Hill. But for the present, let me execute this sacrifice known as Indra Yagna.
My dear father, don't delay. The sacrifice you propose for the Govardhan Hill will take much time. Better take the arrangements and paraphernalia you have already made for the Indra Yagna and immediately engage it all to satisfy Govardhan Hill. This is my idea, and you may carry it out if it appeals to you. Such a sacrifice will be very dear to the Brahmanas, the cows, the Govardhan Hill, and also to me.
Nanda Maharaj, you are very fortunate to have a son like Krishna. Whatever he has just spoken is fully supported by the highest revealed scriptures. I am convinced that we should go on with this Govardhan Puja.
If you are convinced, and if it pleases my dear Krishna, then it must be auspicious. Let us begin without further delay.
The honest and simple cowardman, headed by Nanda Maharaj, accepted Krishna's proposal and executed in detail everything. He advised without any consideration of the consequences of not worshipping Indra. After all, they simply loved Krishna, and his satisfaction was their life and soul. Indeed, the Brajvasis did not know anyone else but Krishna, and if it was his desire to perform Govardhan Puja, then there was no question of not executing his will. Nanda Maharaj and the cowardmen called in the learned Brahmanas and began to worship Govardhan Hill by chanting Vedic hymns and offering prasadam. The inhabitants of Vrindavan assembled together, decorated their cows, and gave them grass. Keeping the cows in front, they began to circumambulate Govardhan Hill. The gopis also dressed themselves luxuriously and sat on bull-driven carts, chanting the glories of Krishna's pastimes.
Oh, Krishna Prema Prabhu, you brought this nice sweets from Govardhan. So nice of you. Please keep them here. Rajendra Kumar, your kheer is famous all over Braj. You must have definitely brought kheer.
So, Nanda Maharaj, the auspicious time to initiate the puja has come. Let us begin without further delay.
Krishna then assumed the great transcendental form and declared to the inhabitants of Vrindavan that he was himself Govardhan Hill.
My dear Brajvasis, I am extremely pleased with your sincere love and devotion, and therefore I am gladly accepting all your offerings.
Just see how this hill has appeared in person and bestowed mercy upon us. Thus, Govardhan Hill, assuming another form he wishes, will kill any resident of the forest who neglects him. Therefore, let us pay our obeisances to him for the safety of our cows and ourselves.
Together with the people of Braj, the Lord bowed down to this form of Govardhan Hill, thus in effect offering obeisances unto himself. The members of the coward community, having thus been inspired by Lord Vasudeva to perform and execute the sacrifice to Govardhan Hill, all the cows and the brahmanas returned with Lord Krishna to their village of Braj. This ancient festival of Krishna eating during Govardhan Puja is also called Annakut. It is revived by the great Madhavendra Puri during the installation of Gopalji on the top of Govardhan Hill. During this festival, even up to this day, devotees prepare mountains of bhoga and of all descriptions of grain and ghee. Thus, there is rice, dal, halwa, ladus, pakoras, puris, and all kinds of milk preparations like sweet rice, sandesh, rasgullas, and so on. Sri Krishna, appearing from Govardhan Hill, devoured all the mountains of bhoga in one morsel and began calling out, Aniyora, Aniyora, give me more, give me more. The Brajvasis had practically exhausted all their stocks, and thus a wisely elderly Brahmin offered the Lord one tulsi leaf, which completely satisfied him. Even today, 5,000 years later, this festival of Annakutta is celebrated with great devotional power in all the major Krishna temples all over the world. Thus, everyone in the four directions was rejoicing in jubilation except Indra. So now we take you to the heavenly abode of Indra, where, in the mood of an enjoyer, he is relishing in the
All glories to Maharaj Indra.
Yes, tell me, what is the reason for your untimely arrival?
Pardon my intrusion, O great one, but I consider it most urgent to deliver this important message to you.
What information?
This year, the inhabitants of earth have stopped performing sacrifices on the hill.
What? The residents of planet Earth have stopped their sacrifice to me? No, this cannot be true. No mortal can dare to do this. Impossible.
But this is true, my lord.
Who has spoiled their intelligence in this way?
Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, who is the king of cowherd communities in Vrindavan. On his advice, they have forsaken your worship and will be worshipping the cows and hills instead.
Krishna, you mean, say that defying the demigods, they shall now worship the stones and trees? Just see how these cowherd men living in the forest have been greatly intoxicated by their prosperity. They have surrendered to an ordinary human being, Krishna, and thus have offended the gods. These cowherd men have acted inimically towards me, taking the shelter of the ordinary human being, Krishna, who thinks himself to be a very wise but is a foolish, arrogant, impudent, and over talkative child. By believing in this child, they have enraged me. For this audacity of theirs, they shall have to pay heavy price. Called Samvartaka, the cloud of devastation.
Pardon my interruption, O mighty King of Heaven. May I speak something with your permission?
Speak.
Dear King, you yourself had said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has descended on earth in the form of Krishna in the womb of Devaki. In fact, you accompanied Lord Brahma and Narad Muni to offer reverential prayers while he was in the womb.
Yes, yes, I remember it all. Maybe that time I mistook his identity to maybe the child known as Krishna is someone else. Because if he were the supreme God, then he would never dishonor the demigods in this way. And after all, the king is always the king. Even the supreme personality of Godhead shall respect his position as such. This boy, Krishna, is simply a mischievous, puffed up child who is ignorant of the power and strength of the kings of God. So today, he along with his foolish cowherd community will be destroyed.
Please accept my humble obeisances, my Lord. The function of Maya or unusual destruction is still a long way from now. May I know reason for being called urgently at this time?
Samvartaka, go to Vrindavan and flood the entire village with your full fierce of rain, hailstorm, thundering. Destroy the village and all the Brajavasis along with it. Those insignificant jivas have angered the King of Heaven. They have to pay the price for it. Go teach them a good lesson. Those inhabitants of forest are infatuated with their friend Krishna, who is nothing but an ordinary human being. Taking his side, they dare defy the demigods.
But the Brijvasis are under the protection of Lord Krishna. He
Samvartaka, you don't be afraid of anything. You just go ahead and do as I have ordered. Okay? I shall also follow you on my Airavata with a great strength, and I will apply my full strength to punish these Brajavasis.
Although Indra knew perfectly well that Krishna was protecting the Brajvasis, demonically, Indra thought to himself to be all-powerful as a personality. When demons become very powerful, they defy the supreme controller, the personality of Godhead. Indra, though not a demon, was puffed up by his material position, and he wanted to challenge the supreme controller. He thought to himself, at least for the time being, as to be equal to the power of Krishna.
Looks like a hurricane's coming this way. Come, let's rush. Our cows must be shivering with cold.
Yes, I know Indra himself is sending these unseasonable, heavy rains and winds to destroy Vrindavan. I don't want to destroy Indra. Instead, I would destroy his pride. I can understand that this has been done by Indra because we have stopped his sacrifice. But he is my devotee, and hence I shall destroy his ignorance. These bosses are my own family members, and we shall protect them by my mystic power. Oh, residents of Braja, you may all come under this hill with your cows. Sri Govardhan can give shelter to all the three worlds. What to speak of the simple land of Braja? Do not fear, this mountain will not fall from my hand. Come in, come in. Come under this great umbrella.
Lord Krishna, forgetting hunger and thirst, and putting aside all consideration for personal pleasure, stood there holding up the hill for 7 days and 7 nights. Lord Krishna held up the mountain while his praises were chanted by the residents of Vrindavan, all of whom now had the opportunity to be together with him, and who glanced at him with joyful and amazed eyes. Thus all the cowherd men and women, out of loving affection, looked upon Krishna with their wide open eyes. By continuously drinking the nectar of beauty and sweetness of the all-attractive Sri Krishna, the residents of Vrindavan felt no hunger, thirst, or even fatigue. Samvartaka, clouds failed to flood the village of Vrindavan because the Supreme Lord, by his potency, simply dried up the water as it fell on the ground. Indra, on seeing this exhibition of the Lord, became most astonished. His false pride now smashed, and his intuition failed. He ordered his clouds to desist from pouring anymore. When Indra saw the exhibition of Lord Krishna's supreme mystic power of holding Govardhan Hill, he became astonished and ordered Samvartaka to desist from pouring torrential rains from destroying Braj. Totally bewildered, Indra returned to his palace. He was feeling despondent and utterly miserable. When this news reached the ears of Brihaspati, the guru of the demigods, he went to Indra in private and addressed him.
My dear Indra, you have offended the original personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, and thus you will not be able to find any shelter to protect you from the reaction of your grievous offense. In the same way the trees and plants get their life force from the moon, so all living entities are maintained by Lord Sri Krishna. Even though you have 1,000 eyes, still you are not able to see things as they are.
O Gurudev, you are Brihaspati, the best of those who are learned. Kindly direct me how I can get out of this dangerous position.
O King of the demigods, even when you hold such an important post, your intelligence has become covered and thus you have committed the great offense called Vaishnava Aparad. I can do nothing to help you counteract this reaction. Your only hope is to go and fall at the feet of Surabhi, the mother of all cows, and beg her to request Lord Krishna to pardon you. Lord Krishna considers cows more dear than his own life. Perhaps if you take Surabhi along with you and beg his forgiveness, he may consider your case.
My dear cowherd men, now you can leave and take your wives, cows, and apples. Everything has now ended. The floods and rains are no more.
Completely humbled and humiliated like never before,
O Mother, you are the best of Krishna's devotee and hence you are very dear to Lord Krishna's heart. I have committed grievous offences by trying to annihilate the saved land of Vrindavana along with all its residents. I have come to seek your help, O Mother.
You have addressed me as mother. Therefore, it is my sacred duty to help you. Tell me, O great King of Heaven, how can I serve you?
O Mother, Thank you for your willingness to help me. I am feeling ashamed of having committed an unforgettable offense of harassing Krishna and his devotees. My Guru Maharaj Brihaspati has instructed that the only way I can possibly pardon is by approaching Sri Krishna through his dear devotees. O merciful Mother, if you appeal on my behalf, then I have some hope in this hopeless condition.
Thus, Indra, the king of heaven, ashamed of having offended the Lord, along with Mother Surabhi, approached him in a solitary place with a repentant heart.
O Krishna, Krishna, greatest of mystics, O Master of the universe, by your grace we have you as our master. You are the protector of cows, brahmanas, demigods, and all others who are your pure devotees. Therefore, we do not know anyone else other than you as the Supreme. You are our worshipable deity, and therefore please become our Indra and let us bathe you with our own milk. O Lord, you are famous as Bhakta Vatsala and also ever willing to forgive your devotees' offenses. Indra is feeling very sorry for his misbehavior. Kindly give him your merciful audience.
You are the Father and the spiritual master of this entire universe and also its supreme controller. You are insurmountable time, imposing punishment upon a sinful for their own benefit. By your free will, you remove the pride of those who falsely claim to be God. You rightfully punish mischievous fools like me, only to instruct them. Engrossed in pride over my material power and ignorant of your unlimited power and majesty, I have offended you. O my Lord, please forgive because I am fool number one. My intelligence was bewildered. Please bless me so that I do not act so foolishly again. My obeisances unto you, O Krishna, the chief of the Yadu dynasty. I have now come to you for shelter.
My dear Indra, I have stopped your sacrifice just to show you my causeless mercy, but also revive your memory. And I am your maternal master. You should always remember that your material opulences are due to my mercy alone. My man, blinded by intoxication with power, cannot see me nearby with the rod of punishment in my hand. If I desire his real welfare, I personally drag him down from his material fortunate position. You may now go. Execute my order and remain in your appointed position as King of Heaven. But be sober, without false pride.
My dear Lord, your mercy is like a fathomless ocean. One who becomes the object of your causeless mercy is relieved of all sinful reactions. Today, I have seen your unprecedented love for your pure devotees headed by Mother Surabhi. How you are unconquerable by any means, is conquered by the pure unalloyed devotion of your devotees. This is the glory of devotional service onto your lotus feet. For if it was not for Mother Surabhi, I would be rotting in the darkest region of hell for eternity. It has dawned upon me that I am not Indra. You are the real Indra. Indra, you are Govinda, the one who gives pleasure to the house, the senses, and the sacred land on which you walk. O Lord, I have one desire. My heart is burning in the fire of repentance and will be some extent relieved if I could bathe you with the water of celestial Ganges. Let me perform your Abhishek, O Lord.
Yes, O Gopal, and let me bathe you with my own milk.
In this way, Mother Surabhi performed Krishna's bathing ceremony with her own milk, and Indra anointed the Lord with heavenly butter water from the trunk of his elephant carrier Ayavati. Thus, Indra coronated the Lord and gave him the name Govinda. After satisfying the Lord with the cows in Vrindavan, King Indra took Krishna's permission to return to his heavenly abode.
All right, so this play was so amazing and it was directed by Palash Prabhu. So would you like to introduce? Yes, let's give a round of applause.
Hari Bol. Govardhan Maharaj ki. So very wonderful play, and then thank you everyone for helping us and supporting us, and lot of costumes, lot of hard work. Everyone takes out their time from work and comes and practices, prepares script and talks on them, then the sound and everything goes on. So thank you everyone, and we have new actors here and have performed very wonderfully here. So first applause to them. Our Krishna is Kaustubh. Our Nishi and Shanaya says Gopis. Indra as Rasvitra Prabhu. Nanda Maharaj as Amresh Prabhu. And Brahman and Brihaspati as Brajendra Kumar Prabhu. And Krishna Prema Prabhu as Krishna Prem Prabhu. Who brought us sweets? So, anyone wants to buy Mahaprasadam? Yeah, it'll come. And the Govardhan Hill and the cow was Marisha Mataji. Oh yeah. And then there was guard, Samvartaka and minister played all by our Neeraj Prabhu. Yeah, just Marisha, our cow and Govardhan Hill in the background. Haribol. So thank you everyone, and thank you for seeing our drama, and please give a huge applause to all our team.